Welcome to episode 15 of the Metamagix Monster Manual and a continuation of the Dead by Daylight chapter, where today we are going to talk about how you would run our next killer, the Doctor. The Doctor stat block is designed around the concept of using many ranged attacks to ramp up damage and debuffs on the player characters, so without further delay, let's just jump right into it. As a reminder, you can find a link to the stat block down in the description below. It'll take you to my Discord or my Twitter, where you can find a downloadable picture for free. So this is the Doctor, and to begin, the Doctor is classified as a large humanoid with the chaotic evil tag, same as all the other killers. He has an armor class of 13, 125 hit points, and a movement speed of 35 feet. For the stat array, the only two noteworthy stats here are the high constitution at 18 and the high intelligence. He's a Doctor at 16, with the rest of the stats being pretty nominal, around 14 through 10. Like all of the other Dead by Daylight killers, he is immune to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage from non-magical attacks. However, he is also immune to psychic damage, and you can turn down the damage immunities to resistances if your party is low on magic. He has a passive perception of 12, speaks 0 languages, and is a challenge rating of 6. So with all that out of the way, let's jump into some gameplay and talk about his unique abilities. So to begin, the Doctor's main ability is called Carter's Spark. Successfully hitting a creature with the Doctor's special abilities, Shock Therapy and Static Blast, we'll go over later, causes them to gain stacks of madness. At 1 stack, creatures have disadvantage on all skill checks that use Wisdom. At 2 stacks, a creature has disadvantage on all ability checks. And at 3 stacks, a creature has disadvantage on all attack rolls, ability checks, and saving throws. Once at 3 stacks, a creature may use an action to attempt to snap out of it. A creature must succeed on a DC 15 Wisdom saving throw to successfully snap out of it on top of using the action. The creature then returns to 1 stack of madness. A creature can have a maximum of up to 3 stacks of madness. They can't go any higher. So how do creatures get stacks of madness applied to them? Well, first off, we have Shock Therapy. As a bonus action, the Doctor can unleash a 15-foot cone of static electricity. All creatures in the cone must make a DC 15 Wisdom saving throw, taking 1d8 psychic damage on a failed save, or half as much on a successful one, and gain 1 stack of madness regardless. Next up, we have Static Blast, which is a recharge ability of 5 or 6 on the die. As a bonus action, the Doctor unleashes a wide blast of electricity in a 45-foot radius. All creatures within the radius must take a DC 15 Wisdom save, taking 1d8 psychic damage on a failed save, or half as much damage on a successful one, and gain 1 stack of madness regardless. So those are the 2 ways that the Doctor can apply madness to targets. Let's talk about his unique perks. First off, we have Overwhelming Presence. Creatures within 20 feet of the Doctor have disadvantage on Wisdom saving throws. So this will automatically make his cone attack likely apply disadvantage on any Wisdom saves made from the first attack that he throws out, meaning that they'll probably be able to deal full psychic damage with that. Next up, we have Monitor and Abuse. While within 10 feet of an enemy creature, the Doctor gains an additional +2 to the saving throw DC of his abilities. Otherwise, his FOV is increased to 180 degrees in front of him, meaning he can see further out. And being close to a creature will make the check of the Wisdom saves to not to take damage a bit harder. And finally, we have Overcharge. When the Doctor is reduced to half of his maximum hit points, Overcharge activates. The Doctor's Static Blast ability has its cooldown reset if it's on cooldown, so if he already used it and it hasn't recharged yet, it will automatically recharge. Otherwise, the next Static Blast deals an extra 2d8 psychic damage, so a choice has to be made there whether or not he uses Static Blast to anticipate getting down to full health so that the next Static Blast will deal a massive amount of damage. For the Doctor's singular action, we have the Stick. It is a melee weapon attack +5 to hit, 5-foot range, and deals 1d8 +2 bludgeoning damage. So your goal as this killer is to use your Shock Therapy very frequently to apply stacks of madness to make creatures a lot more susceptible to your attacks and make their attacks a lot harder to hit you, and basically rack up stacks of madness as fast as you can on the party to make their lives a living hell. But anyway, guys, that is how I would run the Doctor in Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition. If you guys enjoyed this stat block and enjoyed this video, be sure to leave it a like. I got the next 8 of these videos set up for ready to go, so if you enjoyed this one, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss any of the next monsters coming out in this chapter. But until next time, guys, have fun, stay safe, and as always, happy gaming.